Welcome back to applelnsider, where we explore the classics, the icons, and the pieces of tech history that still manage to turn heads today. If you think modern smartphones have all the style, you might want to think again. Today, we're holding a true design statement from the mid-2000s, a phone that blended function with fashion in a way we rarely see anymore. The Nokia 7370 Gold. It's not just a phone, it's a piece of art you could carry in your pocket. And in this review, we're going to explore why this vintage beauty still holds a special place in the hearts of collectors and design lovers alike. First, the design and build quality. The Nokia 7370 Gold wasn't created to blend into the crowd. It was made to stand out. Its iconic swivel mechanism allowed the screen to rotate open with a smooth, satisfying click that still feels mechanically precise even after all these years. The gold accents were more than just a color choice, they were a statement of luxury, contrasting with the textured leather-like panels that gave it a warm, tactile feel. The craftsmanship here was remarkable for its time. Every part, from the metal trim to the intricate detailing around the edges, feels intentional. Even today, when you hold it in your hand, it feels sturdy, balanced, and like a piece of jewelry rather than just a device. Nokia was clearly thinking beyond technology, aiming for something fashionable and timeless. Then comes the display. Back in the day, the 7370's 2-inch QVGA screen was a solid offering, packing 240 by 320 pixels and capable of displaying up to 262,000 colors. For 2005, that was more than enough to make wallpapers pop and menus feel vibrant. The contrast was good, and the colors had that slightly warm tone that made images feel more organic compared to some of the overly sharp displays we see today. Of course, in 2025 terms, it's tiny and low resolution, but in its time, this was both practical and beautiful, especially paired with the rich gold and brown theme of the phone's casing. The display's brightness was strong enough for outdoor use, and it complemented the phone's stylish persona without feeling like a compromise. Performance was never meant to be groundbreaking here, but it was reliable. The Nokia 7370 was built for calls, texts, and a little light media use, and it handled those duties without hesitation. The menus were snappy thanks to Nokia's Series 40 software, and the interface was straightforward and smooth. It came with built-in apps for contacts, messages, a basic calendar, and even some simple Java games. You weren't going to be streaming videos or running heavy apps, but it never pretended to be that kind of device. Instead, it focused on delivering a consistently smooth and frustration-free experience for the tasks it was designed to handle. And it did that with the kind of stability Nokia was known for. No crashes, no lag, just simplicity that worked. The camera was a 1.3 megapixel shooter, which in 2005 was perfectly respectable for casual snapshots. It had a 6x digital zoom and could even record short video clips. While the images lacked the clarity and dynamic range we're used to now, they carried that nostalgic early 2000s look, slightly soft, warm-toned, and charming in their own way. It was more about capturing moments than producing professional-grade images. The swivel design meant you could hold the phone in creative ways for photos, and even though it didn't have advanced features like autofocus or flash, it was fun and quick to use. Battery life is where the Nokia 7370 Gold still shines. With its modest power requirements and efficient Series 40 software, the BL4B battery could easily last 2 to 3 days with regular use. That's something most modern smartphones can't match. Standby time was impressive, and charging was quick using the classic Nokia pin charger. You could confidently leave home without worrying about carrying a charger, something that feels almost like a luxury now. Software and features were simple yet effective. The Series 40 interface was clean, easy to navigate, and stable. You got basic tools like a calculator, alarm clock, voice recorder, and an FM radio, yes, an actual radio you could listen to on the go. There was also Bluetooth support for file sharing, and even though the phone didn't have Wi-Fi or mobile data as we know it today, you could still browse basic web pages if you really wanted to. Nokia also included a few stylish wallpapers and themes to match the phone's luxurious aesthetic, tying the software and hardware together into a consistent design experience. Value for money today is a different conversation than it was back in 2005. At launch, the Nokia 7370 Gold was positioned as a fashion phone, meaning it wasn't about top specs but about unique design and premium materials. You were paying for style, craftsmanship, and exclusivity. In today's collector market, these phones can still command decent prices if they're in good condition, especially the Gold edition. For someone who values design history or simply wants a conversation starter, it's worth every penny. It's not a practical daily driver in the modern world of apps and connectivity, but as a statement piece or a nostalgic collectible, it's excellent value. The Nokia 7370 Gold is a reminder that not every phone has to be about raw power or cutting-edge tech. Sometimes, it's about creating an emotional connection through design, materials, and personality. This wasn't just a tool, it was an accessory, a piece of your style. Even now, nearly 2 decades later, it remains striking, memorable, and completely unique. In an era where most phones look and feel the same, the 7370 Gold stands as proof that technology can be art. And that's why here at applelnsider, we believe it deserves its place in the Hall of Timeless Tech Icons.